First step is finding a location worth building on, so I decided to explore this island. Most of it is the standard coastal jungle, but after getting acquainted with the local wildlife, then I found this. No, not the world's most smallest lake. This, a big rock formation with steep cliffs, jaggedy peaks, and, wait for it, a natural stone arch overlooking the bay. There's no way I'm not going to build here. Thankfully, before these scallywags maroon me, they chucked me a fast travel bell so I can go and get the materials from our starter base. I built a bed and moved our chest monster over here. Now let me talk you through my plans so far. In my head, our pirate base should be asymmetrical, rough and improvised, but still defensible and hidden from the open seas. The cliff has a few flat ledges, perfect for staggering buildings across the cliff, connected by rope bridges. We could even connect into the arch too. A suspended rope bridge there would look insane. And of course, at the top, a crow's nest flying the Jolly Roger. I also found this drawing online of a pirate hideout built into the side of a cave, which ended up being a big inspiration. Shout out to Lim Chin Yang for this. First thing I built was a dock, as I knew everything else would branch out from there. Thankfully, this game has a great building system, similar to Valheim or Enshrouded, allowing you to rotate build pieces to make nice diagonals and curves. Then I made a smaller jetty closer to the waterline. You get both a boat and a ship in Windrose, and sadly this bay isn't deep enough to get the Titanic alongside. Anyway, plans are set, foundations are laid, time to start the real build. First, I leveled out this lower ledge, setting the foundation for the core of this base. Then added stairs and railings so we can actually get up here. And happy with the progress so far, let's do the ground floor. I set the walls back by one to create the first of many balconies in this house. Then also added large windows to help with lighting. This is also essential so that pirates can defenestrate each other. Then, with the staircase in, I moved up to the first floor, where things got a bit trickier. That's because I wanted to build a jettied upper floor, where the upper level overhangs the one below. This technique was popularized in the late medieval because obviously it gives you more space, whilst also keeping the rain off the lower walls. But most importantly, it would avoid higher taxes, which at the time were based on ground floor footprint. First, I extended the floor out and supported it underneath with pillars and arches. Even though the stability mechanic is very forgiving, the pillars and arches not only add detail, but also makes it look way more realistic and natural. Also, the lighting engine in this game is really nice, which is causing shadows under the overhang, which breaks up the flat stone texture. For the first floor, I used a mix of wood and stone, with lots of big windows and a high ceiling, keeping it open but still warm and cozy. And now for every builder's least favourite part, the roof. I knew I wanted multiple gables and dormers to break up the shape, as it would be quite a big roof. And after a few tests, I settled on a steep 64-degree roof made of reed. And here is where I started my newfound hobby of falling off things and having to run all the way back up. Trust me, this gets way worse by the end of the build. I added a large protruding gable centered over the front door, and then 3 more round the back looking out to sea. All that was left to do is stick a roof on this roof and add some final touches using beams, fences and triangular walls to add a bit of detail up here. For the inside, I thought about sealing off the attic, but instead converted it into a mezzanine, keeping the height while adding more usable space. I added a staircase, some trimming and of course some lighting, making it quite a cozy private domicile. Bitch. The exposed rock was tricky, it looks cool, but it's hard to build around. I ended up leaving it visible in the attic, but downstairs I shaped it into a stone ledge for storage and decoration. Now the layout of the house is finished, it's time to expand the rest of the base. Verticality is key to this base, so now I'm expanding up the cliff and using these higher ledges. I started with this ledge above the dock, laying stone foundations and adding a rickety rope bridge back to the first floor.
Done it again! You dirty bastard!
In my head, I imagined this hideout wasn't pirate built. This started as a small colonial outpost, likely Spanish, English or French, that was abandoned and later taken over by pirates. I tried to show that in the materials used, stone for the original structure and wood for pirate repairs and renovations. I knew these ledges would be mostly seen from below, so I focused on detailing the underside, keeping some rock exposed and reinforcing it with arches and pillars so it feels properly supported. With the platform ready, I left it for now because on the opposite side there's just enough space for another ledge. This time it will be a defensive turret to cover land approaches. For added difficulty, I went with a round tower topped with another jettied floor. I freehand placed the foundations to make a curve, then supported the overhang with arches and pillars. Decorating the exterior was pretty rough. I don't have all the build pieces unlocked yet, which meant lots of trial and error and constant trips to check it from below. In the end, I settled on a mixed limestone, stone and clay design, complete with firing slits in the walls and crenellations on top. Later, we can come back and add actual cannons to this tower. It doesn't stop there though. I climbed higher and found even more space for another platform. But before then, I finished the first platform, turning it into an open-air veranda overlooking the sea. I also included another staircase and doorway here, which will link into a network of bridges and paths wrapping around the rock. Speaking of which, let's tackle those rope bridges in its own chapter. This next chapter became an exercise in organised chaos, as I plan to create the world's most rickety rope bridge, leading us on a tour around the headland. I started with a handful of planks clinging to the cliffside, with lots of uneven heights to make the path feel improvised. The path wraps around toward the natural arch, because in my head I was thinking of that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow sees the pirates hanging from the arch. Sadly, my crew refused to volunteer as hanging corpses, so a rope bridge will have to do. I built a temporary bridge first so I could shape the real bridge properly, because otherwise we'd have to shoot ropes to get up there. Wait, what? I tried to add a natural sag to the planks, as if the whole thing is barely holding together under its own weight. With a handful of railings and some lighting in place, now we need to suspend it. Luckily, this game has these thin wooden poles that work surprisingly well as fake rope. And with the bridge complete, I decided to switch sides and started working on the rear cliff path to connect the whole network together. From the stone tower, I planned out 2 more paths, one of which leads to this flat space at the top. And here I reinforced this ledge with stone foundations, creating 2 flat levels at different heights, both with awesome views of the sea and of this phallic rock. I put some stone railings around this place, but I'm not actually going to build much up here yet. Instead, I'm keeping this area mostly open for farming later on, once we unlock proper planters. From the farming area, the path loops around the back of the rock, crosses over the arch, and reconnects underneath with the suspended bridge. I imagine that besides giving access to the high ground, these paths also make sense defensively, perfect for spotting hostile ships approaching the island. But one night, during a particularly miserable storm, I thought this was the perfect time to try and climb to the very top. Building a full staircase would have been too visible from below, so instead, I turned the climb into a jumping puzzle. This idea actually came from another game, Vermintide 2, where the shared lobby area has parkour routes to do while you're waiting for your teammates. If nothing else, it will give us something to do while we're waiting or procrastinating. I built a handful of planks scaling this first bit, and now there's a huge gap between us and the summit, the perfect place to jump onto a very narrow beam. A few more nervous jumps later, and you finally reach the crow's nest. We've got to put something at the top, and my first thought was having a shipmast up there, complete with a horizontal beam too, but unfortunately, from a distance, it looks less like a pirate hideout and more like a monastery. So instead, I swapped it for a black flag. Sadly, there's no actual Jolly Roger in this game, which feels like a bit of an oversight. I later came back and added an even more precarious route to the very top, and I'm very excited to watch my friends try and attempt this. Final touches include some support beams beneath the bridges, plus one last connection between the towers. Now, all that's left is detailing, and this place will be ready for pirate habitation. In the end, I spent hours organising chests, moving workstations, and adding small details. Oh, and collecting shells from the beach. Lots and lots of shells. Most of that is pretty boring to watch, so I'll skim through most of it and save the full tour for the end. Starting back at the dock, I added a deep water pier for loading and unloading ships. There's a couple of ship-specific workstations, so I built small shelters around them to make the dock feel like a functioning port. And after decorating with some barrels and crates, I almost forgot about the fast travel bell, which I put on the pier. And for the storage system, instead of a giant chest wall, I went with a cluttered mix of chests, barrels, plunder, and booty. Downstairs, I turned the ground floor into a cozy kitchen space, starting with the bonfire. In Windrose, the bonfire basically acts as the heart of your base, and since I completely forgot to plan around it, I shoved it under the stairs and disguised it as a fireplace. It does occasionally smoke through the floorboards, but it adds character and pollution. Opposite that, I placed a cooking pot and turned it into a makeshift stone oven, then filled the room with decorations and crafting stations. Now, back up to the attic, as I turn this into our bedroom, placing 3 beds suspiciously close together. Look, pirates have to keep warm at night too. And that's all the items moved in. I also remembered you can buy merchant stands who will sell you bulk materials. So I built them some dockside market stalls. But to import these goods, I built a couple of rudimentary cranes unloading supplies onto the pier. The plan is to make my mates both climb the cranes, then race to the summit from there. One of my friends is on keyboard and mouse, but the other one is on controller and is infamously bad at jumping puzzles. So I might give him the closer crane to give him a head start. Anyway, place your bets because the week is up, and let's show these salty sea dogs to their new kennel. That was so good, Mum. Thank you.
So many mistakes in it, but does it matter?
No.
Team, ice on the way.
It's Friday night and the crew has finally returned, so I scooped them up from the nearest island and set sail for our new base.
Have you seen that video that's going around at the moment of two guys racing outside a pub?
Oh yeah, that's so funny. And he slams
He
into the
runs
bus.
into a bus shelter.
He looks so smashed as well. He could barely run. It's like, do you just go overboard?
Oh, come on, I got back on.
Oh, Zachary.
This is a cool island. Is this our base?
Gentlemen, this is what I've affectionately named Little St. James,
Nice.
otherwise known as Booty Bay.
Don't ask any questions.
Don't take any pictures either.
Very nice. Got the Michelins Hubbard loader.
Yeah, the cranes. Do you reckon we can jump across from here? Huh! No, this is our little dock. We've got the shipwrights workshop and a bunch of other little workstations down here. I got the merchant thingies, so we've got a little captive man back here selling us natural resources. Then over here we have the wharf in here, so you can fiddle with your ship.
You can buy animal products, also.
So that's pretty cool. They're pretty useful. We've got a food guy inside as well. Over here, I think this I kind of was thinking kind of like a dry dock type thing. I didn't really know. It looked like a natural bay, so I thought I'll smack a pier around it.
Look at that swimming pool.
Yeah, well, let's go with that.
It is cool how you built it into the rock, I won't lie. That is cool.
Let's do around this side. Ta-da! This is the front of the house. I was kind of going for like a stone fort type thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
That then is kind of been commandeered by pirates. Come on then, let's get inside. So this is our captive kitchen wench. So this is like the kitchen. So we got the cooking station back here. This is where you spend most of your time, Matt, chefing up delicious scran. And then we got an alchemy table back here.
Oh, my frame rate is horrific in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine's going down slightly.
Have you noticed all the men I've recruited in here
He's
as well?
been recruiting.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I didn't realise it, but all the workstations that have men or craft people are all in here, and I didn't plan that, so now it's really congested, and I'm always like, you don't clip through them, so you're constantly just bumping into them.
Swords and shit.
Yeah.
Are those like clams?
Yeah, mate, I spent so long running around on the beach collecting shells. It got really annoying. They're everywhere in this place. So here's the main crafting table. And then this chest wall in the back here looks like it should be decorative, but this is actually our storage system. So I've tried to label them. There's signs, there's not very many signs. And this is our soon-to-be creepy fetish room with our 3 pirate beds. So
Oh, my frame rate is so bad in here.
my PC.
Can't turn my screen quick enough to move.
What the fuck, mate? You definitely need to turn your sensitivity up if you can't turn your head. So follow me. I built more to this base. I wanted to like build up the cliff and have random paths and bits and bobs. So these are the workstations for armor and weapons. And then as well, I'm guessing you guys clocked the natural arch on the way in.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
So I thought I'd build a rickety rope bridge taking us across here so we can...
That is quite cool.
Fiddly to build. I spent so much time falling off and then running back up. I don't look now, Matt. There's jumping puzzles up there.
Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, so this, mate, you'll be very glad to know, is your farming station.
Oh,
We're
very
soon going to
nice.
be able to get some planters going, so this will be your quarters until told otherwise. I still haven't built a signal fire, so I might build it on top of that big spiky rock over there.
Yeah,
That'd be
like
cool.
you can build a bridge across that.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
So, this way, actually, if you just come straight down here, and then it'll make more sense. This is back inside the house, and this is the path up the other way. So this is the big stone tower you saw out the front. And then up here, we've got all of our smelteries. And then last little path you haven't seen yet. So these just connect the 2 towers over the top here, and you get a nice little view of the bay as well. So both of these cranes are climbable. So I thought before you do the jumping puzzle, I reckon you guys climb up the crane, get to the top, and then you race to the top of the peak from there. Yeah, Matt, you do the close one, and Zach, you do the further one, because Matt, I know that you are handicapped.
That was so close.
You look like you're being raptured. Go on, son. Yes!
Yes!
Let's go. Right. Now all you need to do is walk to the end. It was giving me kind of like Rivendell vibes, this base.
Yeah, it is. It really, like, because it's also mad how much more room there is than you think there would be. But I suppose there's just so many different rooms.
Yeah. You literally look like a gibbon, mate. You look like the blue monkey guy from X-Men, but ginger.
How's that look?
Oh, making it look easy. Oh, I spoke too soon. Nice. Oh,
come
Zach. We're putting him off, Matt. Should we face away?
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Don't distract him. Nice, nice.
Hey! I wasn't looking.
Right, on your marks. Get set. Go!
So you cheat them up.
Fuck, I missed.
The stairs is not meant to be the hard bit.
It's the frame rate. The frame rate.
What's happened to Matt here?
A comfortable victory here for me.
Yeah. Oh no, not that way, Matt.
Not that way.
Turns out the handicap was not enough at all.
Should have started on a different island and sailed over.
Yeah.
There's no way you're making it up. The last bit here, Matt.
There you go. Ah! Oh,
Oh
I just
mate.
fell off the other side of the map.
Oh mate. Oh no, that's you fucked there.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Good save. Nice. Oh, no. It's fine. If you jump onto the bridge, you can come all the way. No, not down there.
Can I get back up?
I don't think so. I'll just go.
No.
go.
Done it again.
He's done it again.
You've done it again.
One. Oh, no.
3 times.
Onto the bridge. Yes. Get in.
Mate. Why are the jumping puzzles so hard?
But yeah, when I was building this, I was thinking of, you remember the one in Vermintide in the lobby?
Yeah, when I just kept on getting stuck. Oh, mate.
Oh.
What? Why can't I do it?
Oh, you did it.
Yeah,
Oh, go on.
Oh, mate. Always on either one of those things.
Maybe this should just be like a fail compilation.
Just, like how I can't even do the most simple jumping puzzle.
The video wasn't about building at all. It was literally just about how Matt can't do jumping puzzles.
Oh my
Example
god.
number 4264. So like get to the top and pull back. Oh.
Oh no, I missed that one. I'm done jumping now. I'm sick of this puzzle.
Fair enough. If I'm honest, this is exactly how I thought it would go. I do have a runner-up prize for you, though. More like a faller down prize. You didn't run up anything. I've got a runner-up prize for you.
Got ball whistle. That's quite cool.
Go on, give it a toot.
No way. Is that the thing that summons the ball?
Give it a honk.
Oh, that's cool. So we've got truffle. That is cool.
What, you thought I was going to leave you stranded without finishing the base? I know you've been wondering where those spooky scary skeletons on the bridge came from. Well, first things first, we still have a boss to fight, which will unlock the planters, and then we can finish our farming setup. So, -1 Zach, but +1 Pig, we set off for Richard's Goon Cave. It ended up taking us 4 attempts, including one that was tantalizingly close. I suppose this is what we get for playing on hard difficulty. But finally, we got him, and now we can finish this perfect pirate base. I also bought the remaining build pieces and installed a few mods, then went over the whole base doing one last detailing pass. starting at the dock, which I cluttered up with random barrels, rope and potted plants. And likewise outside the house, this place really benefited from a touch of greenery. The kitchen didn't change too much, besides the addition of this lovely lady. And speaking of lovely ladies, I made heavy use of this painting featuring a dashing young piratette who I've named Mercedes. Upstairs we had to introduce what we call the barrel of sharing, as it's unnecessarily hard to drop items for each other in this game, so we stick it in the barrel instead. Elsewhere I added more paintings and mahogany furniture, which had the most effect on the bedroom, which is now looking much fancier, especially thanks to you, Mercedes. The round tower also got a lick of green, along with some more potted plants out the front, whilst the inside of the tower is now used for linen and jewellery production. Oh, and we've finally got those cannons too. But my favourite change was to the farming area, which is now a beautiful, luscious farming terrace. And finally, the skellies. These came from the Pirate Themes Craftable Decor mod by Silver Bunny Mods. They're not perfect for this, their poses are meant to be sitting or leaning, but from a distance it's hard to tell, and the effect is definitely worth it. And that's it. Big thank you guys for watching this far. If you've enjoyed it, then please leave a like. Thank you Matt and Zach for letting me mug you off on YouTube. Also thanks Mum for her musical debut. And I'll leave you with some more Drunken Sailor with some more shots of the base.